Good people of YouTube, my name is Spanner, welcome back to my Warframe guides. On this video we will talk about how to find and defeat the game's bosses. Bosses are unique enemies which are stronger than normal and most of the time will feature unique mechanics that you will have to learn in order to beat them, which is the objective of assassination missions. By defeating most bosses you will get a blueprint to craft a Warframe part. Let's now learn how to find and defeat each boss. On Mercury, you will find Captain Vor. The main mechanic of this fight is that when you deal a certain amount of damage to him, he will protect himself with a shield and summon some troops that you must defeat. You must deal with him and his troops until you defeat him. On Venus, we have the Jackal. The Jackal has a lot of firepower and is also invulnerable. To damage the Jackal, you need to target the legs in order to bring him down. Only then can the Jackal be damaged. Repeat this process until it is defeated. On Earth, we have Counselor Vay Hek. You will encounter him multiple times during the mission. Each time you fight him, he will run away after taking some damage. After running away a couple of times, he will reach the area for the main battle. To damage the Counselor, you must target his weak spots, his face and his back. The face can only be damaged when his mask opens, and the back only when it glows yellow. After taking some damage, he will change forms into a giant mech, and the second phase will begin. This mech form can be damaged at will until he is defeated. On Mars, we encounter Lieutenant Lek Krill. This boss has two phases. During the first phase, he uses ice attacks and cannot be damaged normally. To beat him, you need to target the tubes on his back until they disconnect. When a tube is disconnected, you need to force him into using his ground slam attack. This will cause him to freeze himself, making him vulnerable to damage. Repeat this 3 more times and Phase 2 will begin. During Phase 2 his attacks become heat-based and he also gets a little faster. However, he can be damaged normally. On Phobos, we have the Sergeant. There's nothing really special about this guy. Just attack him like he was a normal enemy. You can deal extra damage with headshots. On Ceres, we fight Captain Vor and Lieutenant Lek Krill at the same time. Their individual battle mechanics remain the same as the previous encounters. On Jupiter, we have Alad V. He is accompanied by the Zanuka, which is the main problem in this fight since it is invulnerable. During this fight, you will have to take down Alad V first. By doing so, Zanuka's shields will go down and it can then be damaged. When Alad is down, Zanuka will go to him and try to revive him. Alad V can only be killed after Zanuka is destroyed. On Europa, we have the Raptors. In the main room, we have 3 tubes in the floor. A raptor will emerge from one of these tubes and you must destroy it. Be careful since they have really high firepower. When one raptor is destroyed, it will drop an explosive power cell. You need to pick this up and drop it inside one of the tubes, and you need to do it fast before it explodes. The tube will then be destroyed. Another raptor will emerge from a different tube and you must continue the fight until all 3 tubes are destroyed. On Saturn, we have Sergeant Sarga's Ruck. He uses a lot of fire attacks and can only be damaged when his weak spots are revealed. He has 3 phases and during each one, his attacks will change along with the weak spot. During Phase 1, the weak spot appears in his left shoulder. During Phase 2, it's in his chest, and during Phase 3, it's in his back. You'll know when the weak spot is vulnerable by the glow they emit. On Uranus, we have Tile Rigor. This fight has 3 different phases which will change the combat arena. The fight will move to a different phase by damaging Rigor. You can damage him normally, there are no special mechanics about that. After phase 1 ends, he will flood the lower level of the arena. There will be submergible enemies underwater. After phase 2 ends, he will flood the arena once more, leaving only the top floor available for fighting. The water will become electrified and some occasional water jets can appear that could push you into the water. Between phases, you will also be attacked by Gronier Manics. On Neptune, we have the Hyena Pack. These are actually 4 enemies that work as the boss for this planet. Each hyena has their own abilities, but there are no special mechanics about the fight itself. Just keep your distance and kill the Hyena TH first, as it can drain your shields and energy. On Pluto, we have Ambulus. To access this fight, you will first need some Anemo beacons. During open-air Corpus missions, dropships will appear which may drop an Ambulus unit. You must defeat it, and then you will have to hack it. This will reward you with Anemo beacons. When you have enough, you can do the actual assassination mission on Pluto. During this mission, you must defeat and hack several Ambulus units. While they are hacked, you must defend them until a dropship comes to pick them up. You must have a certain number of hacked Ambulus units picked up by the dropships in order to win. If a dropship picks up a non-hacked Ambulus, it counts as 1 failure. After a few failures, the mission itself will fail. On Sedna, we have Kilo the Thame. In order to access this boss, you need some judgment points from Rathum arena missions on Sedna. The current nodes are Naki, Yam and Vodianoi. These are basically team deathmatch missions against AI enemies. If your team has more points at the end, they win. You will also get some judgment points. Naki is the easiest arena mission, but it also grants less points. The higher level missions award more points, but they also cost some in order to unlock them. When you have enough points, you can challenge the boss. Before entering the boss's arena, there will be a floor with 4 pressure pads. When you stand on one of them, the circle on the wall in front of you will start spinning, revealing green lights that you must shoot. Each player needs to stand on a pressure pad and shoot the green lights in front of them in order to enter the arena. The lights will reset after a while, so make sure everyone does it at the same time. The boss itself is vulnerable to damage, but after a certain damage threshold, she will go away and begin an orbital strike. During the orbital strike, you must stay away from the circular zones in the arena. After the orbital strike is over, you will see a circular pad just like the one that you used to enter the arena. You have a limited time to shoot the green lights again, or there will be another orbital strike. When all the lights have been shot, the boss will reappear. When you destroy the lights inside one of the spinning circles, the circle will stop and will remain that way even if the orbital strike happens again. On the Derelict, we have Lephantis. This boss can only be accessed by crafting the Derelict assassination key, which requires Lephantis navigation coordinates, which are only available from containers and lockers in the Derelict. This boss has 2 phases. During the first phase, 3 heads will appear: the infested Corpus heads, the infested Gronier heads, and the ancient infested heads. Not all of the 3 heads will be active at the same time, they will retreat after taking some damage, only to reappear later. They will not be vulnerable to damage until their weak spots are revealed. The Corpus head can be damaged by shooting its mouth, the infested head on its neck, and the Gronier head on its mouth and head. After all heads have been defeated, the floor will collapse and phase 2 will begin. This is basically the same as Phase 1, except all heads are present at all times. During both phases, I recommend that you destroy the corpus head first, followed by the infested head, as the poison clouds they spew can be devastating. On Eris, we have 2 bosses, but their missions are not immediately accessible from the star map. The first one, Mutalist Alad V, can be fought by crafting a Mutalist Alad V Assassinate Key. You get the blueprint by completing the Patient Zero quest. This key will also require 3 Mutalist Alad V navigation coordinates, which are rewarded from invasion missions. When you have crafted the key, you can access the assassination mission. During this fight, Alad V will throw its collar at a player. If it hits, this player is mind controlled and will attack his allies automatically. This mind control can be broken by damaging Alad V enough. Alad V can only be damaged while his collar is not equipped. The other Eris boss is the Jordus Golem. The assassination mission will become available once you complete the Jordus Precept quest. You will also require an Archwing to fight the boss. Before fighting the Jordus Golem, however, you will have to face the Juggernaut Behemoth. The Juggernaut is a mini-boss that usually appears during infested missions. This Juggernaut Behemoth is a special version of this mini-boss that only appears before you fight the Jordus Golem. The Juggernaut has a lot of armor, making him hard to kill, but he does have some weak spots that appear when he does some of his attacks. The first one is his stomach, on his underside, that is revealed when he does a ground stomp. The second appears on his back when he launches quills at you. The Jordus Golem is a massive boss that flies around in space. To damage him, you must target the engines, although the boss will try to avoid that by flying away from you constantly. One final boss that exists in the game is Forid. Forid is only available from infested invasions, and only when that planet's assassination mission becomes an invasion node itself. This is a straightforward boss, just damage him like normal and he will eventually die. After defeating any of these bosses, there is a chance that you will be visited during any mission by a special friend. As a side note, some of these assassination missions have some differences based on the number of players. I have played these missions solo, so there may be a few differences between what I'm saying and what you're seeing. For example, the number of hyenas on Neptune depends on the number of players, so if you have a full squad, you'll face all 4 hyenas. Another example is the number of pressure plates at the start of Killa the Thames fights. The number of pressure plates available depends on the number of players that are doing the mission. And with this, we conclude the video about bosses. This also concludes my Warframe guides. I might do some more of these in the future if people request it, maybe about post-Second Dream or War Within stuff. Maybe even some guides on spy missions or something like that, but for now, it is complete. So, thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed these videos, and I hope I managed to make your Warframe experience a little better. As usual, I will see you all next time.